Two of the most successful teams in Rugby League last season, over the fact because they won all of the possible silverware, do battle tonight to see who is the best club in Rugby League. As tonight we see the 2026 edition of the World Club Challenge between Hull Kingston Rovers at Brisbane and the Brisbane Broncos at a ground in Hull, England, but not of Kingston Rovers, the MCAM Stadium, home of their rivals Hull FC, as they take over. It won't be an ultimate bragging right if Hull Kingston Rovers get this win because, I mean, you're winning silverware in your, essentially, your rival stadium. Hello everybody, and welcome to this. I did fluff that up a little bit, but we are here for this matchup in about an hour's time. This could have the possibility of a classic here, Hull Kingston Rovers and the Brisbane Broncos. You've got on one end the team that won the treble in English Rugby League, the Challenge Cup, the league leaders, and of course the Super League champions, up against the NRL champions who had probably one of the greatest finals runs in recent memory. You had, of course, the comeback win against minor premiers, the Canberra Raiders, in the qualifying final, beat the Penrith Panthers to end their 4-year reign of dominance, and then came from behind to beat the Melbourne Storm in the grand final. We have an interesting match. So, hello everybody and welcome to this. We currently have a poll in the chat if you want to vote on who you think will win this matchup. Currently 3-1 in favour of the Brisbane Broncos, making it the first time since, I believe, 2020 the World Club Challenge will be won by an Australian team. That's how long it's been. It was the Sydney Roosters overtaking, I believe it was St Helens, or it could have been Wigan, one of the two. So this is going to be really interesting to see how this match does play out. So I think, just quickly, we go right into it and have a look at both teams' lineups. So starting off with Hull Kingston Rovers, you've got Arthur Morg at fullback, with Tom Davies and Joe Burgess on the wings, with Peter Hickey and Oliver Gildart in the centres, Mikey Lewis and Tyrone May as the playmakers, Suaso Sue and Tom Amone on debut, no less, in the props, with Jez Litton at Lorca, Dean Hadley and James Batchelor as the second row, with Elliot Minchella in at lock, Sam Luckley, Jai Whitebread, Reece Martin and Carl Lawton on the bench, with Jack Brown as the 18th man for the Robins. And now we'll have a look at the Brisbane Broncos and how they'll line up. Reece Walsh at fullback, Josiah Karapani and Dean Mariner on the wings, with Katoni Staggs and Jeremy Shibasaki in the centres. Ezra Mam and Adam Reynolds are the playmakers. Corey Jensen and Payne Hakeem Haas as the props, with Corey Pites as the hooker. Jack Gaszewski and Jordan Ricky is the second row, with Patrick Carrigan at lock. Ben Hunt, Xavier Willison, Ben Talty and Oblix Tower on the bench, with Grant Anderson, the local Central Newcastle junior, as the 18th man. So there you have it, a very interesting big set of lineups. It's going to be quite interesting to see, especially with Ben Hunt coming off the bench as an impact sub. That's going to be, I think, very crucial in seeing if Brisbane were to go and get the job done in this matchup. And this is very exciting, especially if you've had the last couple of years when you had 2023 and 2024 talking about the Penrith Panthers when they were in the World Club Challenge and they were taking on St Helens and Wigan respectively. And it was just all this media hype, especially in Australia, about how Penrith is going to wipe the floor with them, but it just didn't happen. St Helens won in Golden Point, with Wigan winning in a very close, but should be stated, a little bit of a controversial matchup. So who knows what could happen in this game. But because in terms of talking about the freshness of the players, Brisbane, this is pretty much essentially their first real competitive match. All of their trials so far have only really been against Queensland Cup opposition, and it's mostly been sort of their second grade players. So this is like the first showing really for the likes of Reece Walsh, Payne Haas, Patrick Carrigan, all that. So this is going to be an interesting test. Whilst you have Hull Kingston Rovers, who've already kicked off their season with a 19-18 loss to York, but have also played in the Challenge Cup with 104-0 against Loch Lane. So here you have it. 8 votes now currently in for the poll. 88% in favour of the Brisbane Broncos taking it out. I mean, fair to say they are odds favourites by a pretty distinct margin. I believe it is. It was like $1.15 to $5. So yeah, if you want to just chuck a little bit of money on a bit of an outsider, you can't go wrong with Hull Kingston Rovers. Now, I guess looking back more into the to the lineups as we're trying to fluff out time for the start of the match, and I should state, I'm going to say this a couple of times throughout the lead up to this, no game footage is shown on this stream, unfortunately. You're just looking at this bastard. So essentially, it's a bit unfortunate, but yeah. So looking into this to this team lineup, Mikey Lewis in at 6, interesting, able to avoid suspension following his purposeful trip in the Super League opening match against York. Very surprised it wasn't just a straight up send off, but hey, he was able to clear away for this match. Suaso Su, got to point out, he's just right there. Knights legend, formerly played for the Knights, as it filled the Super League requirement that they have to have one former Knights player. I know there's a couple of clubs now since the whole reshuffle of the English league system. There is a couple that don't, but there's been points where essentially every club has had a former Knights player. Yeah, Reece Martin off the bench is going to be quite interesting to see how he does. I mean, if you need a goal kicker, I mean, he went like during the Pacific Championship, he just kept getting conversions left, right, and centre. It was absolutely brilliant. Just need to have a quick check here because I believe there is a milestone also for this matchup for Hull Kingston Rovers, as someone is set to make his 250th appearance for the, I don't know if it's for his career or it is straight up for Hull Kingston Rovers. It is career appearances, so it's the 250th game for the number 5 wingy on the board, Joe Burgess. So very exciting to see, guys. Anybody got any bets on? But also, you got to point out the number 10, Tom Amoni, on his debut, and what a match it is against the Brisbane Broncos to get the start in your career. That's going to be very, or is just his genuine it's his club debut, so he's probably definitely played before, but you know what I mean. But yeah, looking into more so the Broncos team, and of course you got to highlight Ben Hunt coming off the bench, but I mean, what a player to make an impact there, and that's Xavier Willison also. Doesn't go too bad at all. Be interesting to see if we do possibly get a scenario where Grant Anderson does come into it, but I don't know, it's a bit rough because you'd probably want maybe a couple of Brisbane players really that would have to get injured for that to come into effect. One thing that do need to note that this is under the English league rules, meaning that set restarts and penalties are under the English interpretation, so it's English referees, and there is no 2-point field goals. It's just, if you just kick it from anywhere, it's just 1 point. Which is, I don't know, it's just that. So I think it's just a couple of things to keep in mind. So it's like we understand what system is being adjudicated by. But yeah, this is going to be very interesting. Does anybody have any type of exact predictions of what they want to get down to? So currently now 10 votes in the poll, 11 now, as it's now getting it's kind of one-sided, ain't it? It's 91% in favour of the Broncos to take out this World Club Challenge. I mean, excited to see how Reece Walsh goes. I mean, kind of made himself our public enemy number 1 a little bit in the lead up to this. Rawiri with a Broncos 24, Hull 18. That's a pretty decent score to say the very least. I mean, that's kind of what I was having the same sort of mind frame of. I think I said like, yeah, I think it was 24-16 or something like in that lineup. So yeah, I'm just hoping for a good match at least. Now 14 votes coming in. Thank you everyone coming in. Just remember, there's no game footage here unfortunately. So 79% in favour of Brisbane. So we're getting some backers going for the upset for Hull to get the job done, which I honestly hope does happen. I mean, like, I'm happy with Brisbane winning it. Robert Andrew, Hull KR is shit. Would I be making a correct assumption that you are one of the faithful, or are you just just a team, a player, someone who just supports another Super League side. But yeah, this is just beautiful. 16 votes now, 75% in favour of the Brisbane Broncos. This is this is gonna be cool to see. I feel like with some of these games, especially in the last two, is essentially the English side has made the Australian team frustrated and it makes it close. So I feel like for Brisbane to really just solidify a win here is they just need to come in immediately on top, get their foot in their throat and keep it there. Essentially. So that's my expert analysis there. But now we're just near the waiting points as we're now 20 minutes away from kickoff. It's a pretty interesting, it's a 6:30 kickoff over here in Australia. I believe it's around 7:30 kickoff in England. Would I be right, or am I somewhat near that? When 17% vote, so I think this is going to be the consistent bracket of how the votes are going to be split over 3-1 in favour of Brisbane to take this one out. So, do we have any other predictions in terms of specifically like score? Who do you think is going to be player of the match? Any like first try score or anything like that? Put them in the comments, and we'll keep as much as track to it as possible, and see if they do end up happening. Because Hull KR are going to need the crowd to get anywhere near the Broncos, and I mean, to be fair, an English crowd can certainly do that. And it's also good to see you back, Cumbria Mackin. It's good to see you return. Okay, 18 votes now. That's another one that's gone to Hull KR. There's a little bit of a decent minority voting in favour for the Robins to get this one done. But also probably should get rid of the lineups. There we go, so we can see the chat and all that. So yeah, this is going to be exciting to see. Can the Brisbane Broncos end about a 6-year trip of the World Club Challenge Trophy being away from Australian soil? So I've got no stake in this. For anybody who would be wondering, I support the Newcastle Knights, so I've got no vested interest in this. If anything, it's like I've got Grant Anderson, who was the 18th man for Brisbane, who is a former, he's a central Newcastle junior who plays in the local competition as well as his other brothers. And you got Hull KR, who's got Tuaso Sue, former Knights player as well. So I guess we're cheering them on. But yeah, looking at the crowd now, there's a couple of Brisbane fans in. I mean, it's expected because, I mean, there's a lot of Australians probably over in England going back to the motherland. Also, be interesting to see what happens because Brisbane, for those who don't know, have a try song, and it's Chelsea Dagger, which is sort of like in the vein of like a lot of clubs in English football. But yeah, you just don't really know what's going to happen. So current pundits there, they've got Cooper Cronk, but they've also got I'm actually forgetting on what his name. Jared Warrior-Hargraves, obviously formerly of Hull KR, who was a part of the treble-winning side last year before his retirement. Wish I got around to seeing more of how he was playing, because it sounded like he was going rather well. He probably shouldn't have played in that grand final from what I've seen, but yeah, it's just how it is, I suppose. But yeah, you need the club. Yeah, essentially, yeah, Hull definitely need the crowd to get right on their ass. I'm just wondering if there's going to be some chance made about some of the Brisbane players. Now, like, I'm just going to pull up their lineup here just as a bit of a make sure. There'll probably be a lot about this man here, Reece Walsh. I mean, he definitely got targeted a lot in the Ashes series. I'm just going to have a bit of a hunch. There might be a couple about him for reasons. But yeah, this is going to be... Jared Warrior-Hargraves is now talking. He is tired, but yeah, it's a pretty decent crowd to be said there. I've seen on the camera-facing side of the stand, there's a big flag display displaying the whole KR, which we should see for the beginning of this match. I'm just trying to see actually how would people be able to watch this. It probably generally would just be Fox, wouldn't it, and Sky. Yeah, Joe Hargreaves is very tired in this. Just keep an eye more so on this poll. 23 votes, and again, it returns to that 3-1, 74% in favour of the Broncos to take out the World Club Challenge. Be interesting to see if it does eventually get to a point where, say, next year this returns to being played on Australian soil. Because I kind of thought for like a little bit it was going to be, oh, it's genuinely just whichever country's side wins it, that nation hosts it. But I think, because I know it used to cycle. So yeah, obviously they're looking at Payne Haas, who's obviously going to be a very major strong thing as well. I mean, him and Suaso Su running at each other, cinema. I mean, it just makes you think that you wish that Rhea Hargreaves could just play one more year so you could just have that clash, because that would be absolute cinema. Looking at the weather, it doesn't look like it's been raining, but so yeah, not too sure. But this is going to be very much an exciting matchup. If I have to pick on who I think could be first try scorers, I feel like if it is for the Broncos were to score first, I reckon it could be someone like Mariner or Shibasaki, or just someone along that side could very much be a very decent shout. Could give it to Joe Burgess if we were going to pick specifically somebody from Hull, Kingston Rovers. I don't know if it's just calling them Hull is probably one of those. Yeah, you don't do that. It's like Notts County, Nottingham Forest. You don't call Forest Notts. But yeah, obviously Adam Reynolds is going to be key figurehead. The playmaker is going to be very interesting to see how it is between obviously Mikey Lewis and Tyrone May, and the starting ones for Brisbane being Adam Reynolds and Ezra Mam. Because I mean, as much of the criticism that Ezra Mam does get for things he's done off field, and rightly so for that, he was pretty important for them to win the grand final. I'm not trying to say more so than Reece Walsh or anything, but he was making a lot of defensive plays. So if it does come down to like last line of defense type ordeal, Ezra Mam could come up massive in this matchup. But I mean, you still got, even on the bench, I mean, the crowd's already there. It's pretty much, the crowd's full already, which is great signs to see. I mean, we've already had a pretty decent season to start off with the Super League. Crowds have been good. The games have all been relatively close. I think like the biggest margin in terms of win was like 14, 16 points. So yeah, it's just been brilliant so far. Okay, 25 votes. Thank you all very much for this. It's probably the fastest and most votes we got so far. We're still 10 minutes away from the start of this matchup. And another reminder, no game footage. Unfortunately, no game footage will be shown in this. Now 27 votes, 78% in favour of the Broncos to get this victory here. So yeah, in terms of like a rest of the schedule, if you guys are willing to know, we're going to be doing the 2 NRL preseason challenge matches later today. How are you watching this game? Can't watch it in New Zealand. Right, yeah, let me just have a quick look for that actually. So Kickoff is close. I'm just trying to see. It's on KO and Foxtel and Sky. I'm just trying to think of what's a way to get it in New Zealand, Juanita. How to watch World Club Challenge in New Zealand. What time in Australia, mate? It's 6:20 a.m. in the morning, or Friday morning. By the way it looks like, unfortunately, there's no New Zealand broadcast. No broadcast has been confirmed at this stage for New Zealand. Okay, so there is a way, Juanita, if you do have a VPN, if you set it to the United Kingdom and go to BBC iPlayer, that's the way you probably be able to watch it. I think it's very lax that they don't have this for New Zealand, being able to watch it. I think that's very, very slack. How to watch the World Club in PNG? Oh, okay, that's another question. World Club Challenge watch in PNG. That's probably also the best bet, is somehow getting a VPN, because I know there's. This is unfortunate because I don't really. This should be a game that should be like free to wear, respectfully. So yeah. If you're able to have a VPN and go to BBC iPlayer, but obviously you have the VPN set for the United Kingdom, that would be your best bet. For anything else, I don't really have any options. Try checking streaming services like Kick could be good. That could have some options there, but yeah. I really need to set up a thing where I actually have a Discord which streams the games. But I haven't got the knowledge whereabouts of how to do that yet, but still. 8 minutes remaining till kickoff. 28 votes currently in. We have nearly 80% going for the Broncos of taking out the World Club Challenge. Should might as well transition now into the actual scoreboard one. I just don't. Oh, the chat's going to completely now reset here, so now they're all. So now that's all completely and utterly empty, but. Yes, it's a bit weird, this sort of thing about how all the broadcasting and stuff like that. It's just a bit of it's a terrible setup. All I'm saying is, and I'm not trying to prong it, but if any VPN companies want to get in on the action, there's certainly a way to do this. But yeah, there'll be no game footage unfortunately shown here because copyright. The NRL will come in and absolutely beat me to an absolute pulp, unfortunately. So it's just a bit unfortunate in that way. So I guess I'll try my absolute best to, keep this going. But 30 votes now we've hit, 80% in favour of Brisbane to take it. It's now 31, and that's another vote to Brisbane. I think we're at, what'll be the split? It'd probably be like 24, 25 votes in favour of Brisbane, I think. Or that might be a bit too much, but it's somewhere around that point. So we're just now waiting for this game to start. We're about 6 minutes away from the slated kickoff. But yeah, I generally think it's like, because I know like with a lot of VPN companies, like they really need to advertise, like, oh, you want to watch this, and like they should start partnering with content creators. I'm not trying to sway anything, but it's just one of those types of things. Okay, any last predictions before we get to the start of the match? Does anyone have any player of the match, people who were going to score first try, just try scorers in general? Has anyone got any multis on for this match? Let us know. And we'll keep an eye on track. And hopefully, as a collective, we all make generational wealth. Kickoff not yet. Yeah, Jetty, it's on in about 5 minutes' time. So, but yeah, and just another reminder, there is no game footage. I really should get like an actual overlay of just, what's the dude who does like this? It's like a whole thing. It's like, yep, no game footage being shown, unfortunately. Okay, both teams currently in the tunnels. 60-0 Brisbane for Robert Andrew White. That'd be interesting to see how much that would pay off. But they're looking in Mikey Lewis. Debate about whether or not he should be playing this game from the first round. But he's there anyway. But okay, are in the lineup waiting at the stadium of their arch rivals, Hull FC. But there's a big chance But yeah, 25,000 slated attendance for this matchup. Commentators Andrew Voss and Greg Alexander. So we're dealing with Australian commentators. And now out come the Brisbane Broncos, being led out by Captain Adam Reynolds. It is confirmed this will be his final season before retirement. And I mean, what a career he's had. 2 premierships. Reverend and the Makers, they've got a band performing before both teams come out, so... So they've got a Sheffield band and playing in the crowd just to get the crowd hyped up in that, but Andrew Voss has just straight up crapped on him saying, oh, it's not our kind of thing. It's like... way to sandbag them if they're like announcing a tour to go to Australia. And you actually can't even hear the band playing. It's just the commentators talking over them. So it's definitely, they're both watching in Fox headquarters in Sydney. And this is obviously the Super League camera work. So, alright, we're still a couple of minutes away, so just another reminder, no game footage unfortunately will be shown in this stream, just purely because of copyright issues. The lights shine out and both teams are walking out onto the field. Hull Kingston Rovers and the Brisbane Broncos at MCAM Stadium. 25,000 slated for this matchup. As the flags are out. Good, decent bit of atmosphere. This is exciting to see. And there's Hakeem Haas should start as well. But 32 votes. Oh, they're playing Seven Nation Army. That's good. Do the flags make it out as like the Robin? I mean, the problem is that they're not really showing the cameras on the hard cam to see it, so... Any last bit of predictions? Oh, they're doing national anthems. Alright. So they're doing the national anthems of Australia and England. Okay, so now we're in the anthems. Just got last couple of bits. Any more predictions? 33 votes, 82% in favour of the Brisbane Broncos, 18% in favour of Hull Kingston Rovers. There's Reece Walsh. Hakeem Haas, not singing the anthem, of course, because he now plays for Samoa, which is, I mean, it's pretty sad to say. Bunch of this Brisbane team formerly a part of the Kangaroo side that went 3-0 in the Ashes series against England. There we go. There's the Australian anthem done now. 36 votes come in. 81% still in favour of the Broncos. It's obviously the crowd is definitely majority Hull Kingston Rovers, but there is a healthy contingent of Australians in the crowd. I don't know about healthy. And now we got the English national anthem. Yeah, it's definitely louder. I mean, it's obviously not shocking at all. But anyway, any last predictions as we now hit 6:30? We're about 2 or 3 minutes away from kickoff. Mikey Lewis is proper belling it out. Good on him. Have a bit of passion. Is any of the Royals watching this? I just want to see, like, I don't know, I was about to say one, but that was a bit risky. Like, I reckon Princess Anne's saying, yeah, this is my shit. I think she's like Princess of Scotland. And there we go, the English anthem is now done. They're about a minute or 2 away from kickoff. it's a lovely stadium as well. But yeah, definitely during the camera panning of the English team of Hull KR during the anthem, a lot of focus on Mikey Lewis. They are thinking it's like what is it? George Lucas talking about Jar Jar Binks. It's like Mikey Lewis is the key to this. I don't know if anyone's going to get that, but anyways, Jimbo for Broncos 42-12. I feel it's definitely going to be one. If they can get a stranglehold on this match and not let up, that's very much a decent scoreboard. So 39 votes, 82%, sold out crowd. It's great to see, and it's now 40 votes, still around that 80% margin. But we are very close now to the start of this match. So get your votes in. We're almost there, and it's another last reminder. There is no game footage shown here, so unfortunately, there's no game footage shown. So yeah, if you're looking for footage here, this ain't your place. If you've got a VPN, you can go to the BBC iPlayer. If not, then I don't know. But yeah, definitely the crowd will need to be a factor in for this, especially to help the Robins. And then it's realising it's like, damn, like the NRL games don't really have as much atmosphere. So just waiting for kickoff. It looks like it'll be Hull Kingston Rovers kicking off the match, as we'll end the poll there. 44 votes. Thank you all very much for voting, with a 44%, with 84% in favour of Brisbane. Hull Kingston Rovers running screen left, with Brisbane getting first possession in this World Club Challenge. We're getting ready now. The whistle sounds, and we are underway for the World Club Challenge. As it's Patrick Carrigan who gets the first carry, and he'll get wrapped down just shy of the 20-metre line. What's the map on your wall? It's the map of Skyrim. Bought a poster of it a couple of months ago. So that's Kashirski now just brought down just shy of the 30 for the second tackle for Brisbane. Brisbane doing one-upmans, which is probably expected, as going to be seeing as Jensen now just shy of the 40-metre line for the third tackle. Early kick here for Adam Reynolds to go for a 40-20, but it's immediate drop back by Hull Kingston Rovers to get their first carry. And I'll be wrapped up on, I believe it's the 40 on the 20-metre line for the first tackle. So this will be a defensive game to just keep Hull Kingston Rovers back. Is probably what the strategy is going to be for Brisbane. As the Robins now get brought down on the 30 for the third tackle. Good run up the guts there by Suaso Su. Just shy of halfway for the fourth tackle. And it's another early kick here. It's a little chip up, and it's going to be taken by Dean Mariner just shy of the 30-metre line. And he'll get wrapped up around there for the first tackle. Immediate injury problems here for Brisbane. There's a bit of pushing and shoving already. Corey Jensen's down on the ground, and there's already a bit of argy-bargy on the field. We're not even 90 seconds into this matchup. But I think it was a little bit of elbow on face, a little bit trying to get up here. So nothing's in it. But yeah, Corey Jensen is down on one knee around the field. So Suaso Su, he's gonna be exciting to see in this match. Yeah, Corey Jensen, no, he's in a bad way. He looks like he's concussed. Let's have a look. He was running up. He's trying to tackle Suaso Su, but his head might have clipped Suaso Su's hip. So the English tackle will bring on Dean Mariner. It was the number 13 of Minchella who grazes Mariner's head, and Reece Walsh came in with exception, and it was almost on already. So Corey Jensen's night might be over. So we're probably going to be seeing a Ben Talty appearance a lot earlier than was expected of Corey Jensen. 146 games and 3 tries. Now it's number 15. Xavier Wilson's now come onto the field. So there's probably a shift in the team list. And it's going to be a penalty to Brisbane because of the just messing around with the player down the ball. And the referees also talked to Reece Walsh saying we don't want any argy-bargy or handbags. is probably the better appropriate term for this. So there's the kick into touch by the Broncos. It'll be around halfway, so a full set of 6 here for Brisbane to possibly get first blood in this World Club Challenge. It's about 5 players in that tackle there for Hull, driving him back, as that was Jordan Ricky who took down the first tackle. Now Brisbane, they've got massive numbers on the left if they could have spread it, but Gosiewski runs it in the middle and he gets brought down on halfway for the second tackle. So yeah, Xavier Wilson comes on for Corey Jensen as Reece Walsh gets his first carry now. 30 away from the try line, third tackle for the Broncos. Corey Pikes goes from dummy half. He gets brought down 20 away now, fourth tackle. Carrigan trying to find a gap, but he'll get brought down 15 away from the try line. Last tackle here for Brisbane. In the first real attack of the game, they'll go to the right-hand side. Reynolds with the grubber. It's picked up by a Broncos player, as it was Katoni Staggs, but it'll be a changeover for inside the 10. So here, you've got to expect a big defensive set here by Brisbane. Not a bad placement to bling on. Yeah, definitely not. Especially if you've got like someone like Ben Hunt as a backup playmaker, who's absolutely crucial for the... Not absolutely crucial, but he's an absolutely brilliant player to come in. This is the most expected defensive set here by Brisbane, as Hull still inside of their 20 for the third tackle. And doing a bit of one-upmans, as that's the number 10 of Tom Amone making his Hull KR debut. And there's a decent wrap-up tackle there by Wilson, getting in the action as it was for Morgu. Last tackle kick behind the 40. Maybe it's aiming for a 40-20, but it's taken by Dean Mariner on the 10. And Mariner will get wrapped up just shy of the 30 for the first tackle for Brisbane. And as the camera's now on the coach, something's happened we don't see, but it looks like there might have been a knock-on by Brisbane. So a scrum feed here for Hull Kingston Rovers. Yep, there's a pass straight out to Katoni Staggs, who coughs it up. So 30 out with a full set of 6. We have a chance for the Hull Kingston Rovers to potentially get first points on the board in this matchup. As we're now 4 minutes into this game. So what can the Robins do here? They'll go to the left-hand side. It was Tyrone May who gets the pass, flings it out to Oliver Gildart, who gets brought down 20 away from the try line for the first tackle on the far left-hand side. And it's a set restart. So it is up to the English interpretation of how these set restarts will go. Sawaso Sue running up the guts at Patrick Carrigan. 15 out from the try line here. Second tackle, but they're more so on the right-hand side. Tyrone May, grubber kick. There's a chase down the wing, and it's going to be Dean Mariner who forces it out for a goal line dropout, because it was Tom Davies here. So goal line dropout here for Brisbane as the crowd's starting to get into it, which is something Brisbane probably don't want to happen. So look, grubber kick to the left side of the field. It was Joe Burgess really pressuring it up, but Dean Mariner bats it back for the goal line dropout. As a 5 gone. Low squibbed kick, and it's caught on the 20 on the full by Joe Burgess. So here we go. 15 out, first tackle for the Robins. As that's Dean Hadley. 10 away from the try line now. Second tackle, more central to the field. They'll try to go to the right-hand side of the field. Tyrone May feeds it off to Batchelor, and he gets brought down. 10 away now, third tackle. They could go short right here, but they don't. They'll go more central, as it's a run from dummy half here by Jez Litton. Fourth tackle now. Robbins now trying to fling it out to the left-hand side, as that was Mikey Lewis, who gets wrapped up 5 away now. Last tackle here for Hull KR. They'll try to go in the middle. Tyrone May goes for the grubber, and it's taken by Sawaso Sue, and the Robins have taken the lead. I thought there was a possibility that Tyrone May lost the ball, but a grubber has happened. No, it's not. I apologise. It's not Sawaso Sue. It is Tomamone in his debut for the Robins. But Tyrone gets the kick, and it's Tomamone who gets the first try, and the Robins 4-0 up over the Broncos, 6.5 gone. So that's unfortunate. I thought it was Sawaso Sue, but it was Tomamone. So the ball flings out to Tyrone. Okay, so Tyrone May does drop it, but he's incentive enough to get his foot onto the ball for a grubber, and Tomamone. So he dropped the ball, and he does get a kick. There should be nothing wrong with that try. And Tomamone goes in, just grounds it right near the posts. So there should be 6-0 to Hull Kingston Rovers about 8 minutes into this game. That's... I don't know if anyone was really expecting that, but there you go. But yeah, Tyrone Main, there's going to be no way that they take it off him because he does drop it, but he gets his foot onto it for the kick. So Tomamone, 17 NRL games, and first game for Hull KR, and he gets a try against the defending NRL premiers. Here we go. Here is the conversion attempt. It is Arthur Morgue. He goes through. Kick over the top. It's 6-0 to the Robins. This is interesting. Because you're very much getting the crowd into this. This is something that Brisbane need to suppress. But I mean, if the Robins just keep going with this momentum, this could be a very, very interesting matchup. And there's the kickoff there by Brisbane. Goes out to the right-hand side of the field. Backing Hull KR. Cryptic Tony. Yeah, it's going all right so far to get the first try on the board. I think it's just about them continuing this momentum and keeping Brisbane at bay. Now this is Amone. He gets brought down just shy of the 20 for the third tackle here for the Robins. Up the guts there, it's Peter Hiku, gets an offload off. Brisbane very compact in the centre here, as this is the fourth tackle now for the Robins on the 40, as it's Litton who gets brought down. And then right up the guts, it's Sawaso Sue, gets brought down just past halfway for the last tackle. And it's a high kick, and it's going to be Dean Mariner, takes the catch inside of the 10. Then it'll get brought down on that 10 for the first tackle for Brisbane. Brisbane now trying to shuffle it out to their wings. They need someone like Reece Walsh to come in, because that's also another thing. If we know from the NRL finals, Brisbane can come back. As that's the number 4, Jeremiah Shibasaki just past the 20 for the third tackle. And then Karapani, he's getting one of his real first touches of the ball on the 30 for the fourth tackle. And here's Payne Haas. Going to the Rabbitohs next year. Last tackle now for Brisbane. They're going to attack heavy on the left-hand side. It's a kick over the top. Reece Walsh is chasing, but it's grabbed by Morgue. But just like that, just showing, Reece Walsh very close in the play as Hull Kingston Rovers did their first step around the 20. Peel for a high shot there from Carrigan, but it's not called. But now Hull Kingston Rovers now get to their 40 for the third tackle. Still just doing one-up central play. It'll be another one. Mikey Lewis brought down on halfway by Willison. Now for the fourth tackle. They're flinging out to the left-hand side. Now the really good couple of last tackles from the Robins. Getting just shy of on the 30 now inside of Brisbane's half. Pressure here on Reece Walsh. And he's lost it. That's going to be tackled without the ball. And it's not called. It's going to be a knock-on by Brisbane. He does make a touch for it to try to catch it, but he loses the ball. If the ball goes up in the air and then gets tackled. But the referees are saying it's a fine contest from Joe Burgess. But there we go. It's going to be ruled as a knock-on. So 15 metres out, a full set of 6 for Hull Kingston Rovers, and a chance to extend their lead. Oh, Payne Haas is limping. They're chanting the zombie. Oh, straight from the tap. Hull KR almost there, 2 meters away in front of the post now. First tackle. Flat pass out to Sawaso Su. Just shy of the line again now. Second tackle as we're now 11 minutes gone in this matchup. And it's a set restart here for the Robins. They'll go to the left-hand side for May. Now Lewis. Lewis will get tackled back. And now 15 away from the try line now for the first tackle. So it's a good tackle there by Brisbane. Now Amone, who got the opening try scorer. 5 away now from the try line. Second tackle still more central. The Robins set it out to the right inside. May thought about the pass. Gets the offload off to Morgu. Morgu gets a run. He gets a pass on the run and gets brought down. 5 meters on the line here. Fourth tackle. Now Sawaso Su gets brought down 5 short now. Now this is, the fourth tackle. Runner of the middle. Is that a try? Elliot Minchella might have put the ball on the line, and it's pointed to the spot. They might have to check if he does get the grounding, but just like that, 12 minutes gone. It's 10-0 to Hull Kingston Rovers. The treble winners looking to get their 4th trophy in the space of 2 years. Brisbane just look lost. They look horribly lost at the moment. You had Corey Jensen go off injured early. You had Payne Haas limping as a little Hull Kingston Rover kid starts aura farming with his Smarties. It's like the Bradford City fan going it's like this. Yeah, the high kick there by Mikey Lewis, which forces Reece Walsh to catch it, and he just pops it up, and it's a knock on. But a flat ball to Minchella from dummy half gets the ball on the line. And it's, again, right next to the post. This will be 12-0 to the Robins. 13 minutes gone in this World Club Challenge. Brisbane is shell-shocked here at the moment. But again, it also must be proven and stated that Brisbane can come back in this scenario. But just at the moment, it's all Robins. This is a very interesting situation as Arthur Morgan now, right from the conversion attempt. So here we go. There's the step up for the kick. And it's through the 6. It is 12-0 to Hull Kingston Rovers over the Brisbane Broncos. And that's also another thing it should be said, the commentators just brought up. Hull Kingston Rovers were leading in the lead up to before the York Knights made their comeback, but that was off the back of Mikey Lewis getting sin-binned. So here comes the kickoff by Brisbane to restart the game. So we're now 14 gone, 12-0 to Hull Kingston Rovers. As Sawaso Su gets the first hit up. That looked like a little bit of a high shot by Jordan Ricky, not called. So first tackle inside of the 10 for Hull Kingston Rovers. Now Joe Burgess now gets wrapped up just past the 10 for the second tackle as Burgess is bleeding heavily from his left knee. Might have copped it from trying to go for that grubber to the left-hand side. My bet's looking pretty safe. Yeah, what other bets have you got, Cryptic, for this match? Because would very much like to know, because you'd be cheering at the moment. 4th tackle, Hull Kingston Rovers only getting up to their 30. So yeah, Brisbane keeping Hull Kingston Rovers at bay. They're not past their 40. As this is the last tackle kick high up into the air. Taken by Reece Walsh on the run on the Brisbane 20. If Brisbane were to come back into this, they definitely need someone like him to step up massively as they get wrapped up on the 40 for the first tackle. Bit of a dangerous hit there. Karapani gets on the other side. And that is Dean Mariner now right on halfway for the third tackle. Hull Cow to win 13 plus, over 38.5 points. They're looking all right. How much is that paying? Because that'd be a tasty little one. 4th tackle now, 45 away from the try line, Brisbane. Here's Carrigan. Flings it out to Mam. And they've got Reece Walsh down running on the left-hand side out to Karapani. and Karapani gets brought down 10 metres out from the try line on the far left-hand side. Last tackle here for Brisbane. Can they get back into this game? Man, goes for a grubber. No one's on the run here. Jetty 13 plus, whole KR party begins. I've got mixed in with a few multis, most of them paying $600 plus. Well, here's hoping for you, Crypto. Here's hoping for you. As again, so it's a good attacking set. You got to say that was for Brisbane, but it just hasn't resulted in anything. But Robin's happy to keep the ball going. Just shy of the 40 here for the fourth tackle. There's not even short. They're short of 30 actually. Measure bro, fingers crossed. It's a decent little run there by Hadley on the 40 for the last tackle, and it's just a low grubbered kick. As Reece Walsh takes it inside of the 20 and gets immediately met by a charge down by the Robins. So just past the 20 for the first tackle, as we're now 23 and a half minutes remaining in this first half. Still 12-0 with try scorers to Elliot Minchella and Tom Amone. Mikey Lewis with that hit on Reece Walsh. So this is third tackle now for Brisbane. They've gone past their 30. The crowd have not let off from the starting of the minute. Almost an offload. They've got it there as Pites gets the ball off to Carrigan as they've crossed into the Robins half. 40 out from the try line now. Fourth tackle. Brisbane going off to left. Mam breaking the line here, and that's a good run now. Last tackle, 20 metres out from the line. Here's a chance for Brisbane. They spread it to the middle. Reynolds goes for a grubber kick. There's a big chase here, and it's going to be picked up and taken out for a goal line job out for Hull KR. But that is better sets here from Brisbane. So I guess the question here is for Hull Kingston Rovers. Do they go short? Do they attempt to squib to force a knock on, or do they just boot the piss out of it? So Corey, time off, 22 minutes remaining. It looks like they're going to go short here possibly, but Brisbane are prepared for it. Mikey Lewis with the ball. Here comes the kick, and they're going to lever it as it goes past halfway. And it's going to be not caught by Willison as it goes backwards, as Willison will get brought down on halfway for the first tackle. So pretty decent kick and situation there for the Robins. But now Brisbane, here we go. Hakeem Haas brought down 30 away from the try line for the second tackle. They just need to keep going with this play. Ezra Mam now with the ball on the left-hand side. Gives the ball out to Shibasaki. Appeals for a forward pass, not given. Third tackle, 15 out now, Brisbane. Gives it off to Mam. Now to Carrigan. And Carrigan brought down 15 away from the try line for the fourth tackle. Brisbane again attacking that left-hand side. Man goes over the top for Karapani. Karapani trying to find a gap. He's still trying to find one, and he gets brought down about 3 metres short of the line here. Last tackle for Brisbane. They're going to spread it to the middle. No, Corey Pye goes himself to go for a try for a tush push, but he doesn't get it, and Hull KR will get the ball back. But once again, it's Brisbane starting to slowly knock on the door, and Hull KR are just complacent, getting almost a high shot there by Corey Pye. So first tackle inside of the 10 here for Hull KR. But yeah, it's just definitely Brisbane getting a lot more metres for their sets, but Kaszewski getting involved in that tackle. His second tackle, 20 metres out, as that's the number 17 of Reece Martin, who's now on the field. Now Robbins there, that's Morgu, 30 on their 30 for the third tackle. Jezza, good morning. Good morning, Rowan. How we doing? Fourth tackle now, just shy of halfway, Jai Whitbread. They're spreading it out to the left-hand side, but no one's really got enough spaces. That's Reece Martin again, who enters Brisbane's half now, 45 away from the try line. Last tackle, Lewis with the high kick. Reece Walsh with pressure on it. He takes it on the 10, immediately gets wrapped up in a tackle by Gilda and Burgess. And that's an incorrect play of the ball, and it's going to count as a knock-on. Katoni Staggs is having a bit of a howler so far. Just slips up on the ball, trying to get the pass out from the ruck. And now scrum feed 10 metres out from the try line. A chance here Oh, the ball just kicks up. So, yeah, it's a bit of an accident. I mean, to be fair, it's a bit of a quick play of the ball by Reece Walsh, if anything. So now a chance for the Robins to increase their lead and make it possibly a 16-18-0 as we enter the final 20 minutes of the first half. But yeah, this has been quite extraordinary as Reece Martin's come on for Suaso Sue from... Here we go. It's the number 3, Peter Hiku, gets brought down inside of the 10, and Whitbread's on for Ramone. They commentary, by the way, brother. They need to hire you. Well, actually, I'm pretty close to actually becoming a proper soccer or football commentator, so it's starting to happen. We're getting there. We're getting a foot in the door. It's Hadley there running up the guts, but Willison brings it down now. 5 out, third tackle. Brisbane flat ball. There's Reece Martin again, getting a lot of the ball since coming on the field. 4th tackle, still 5 out. The Robins now spread it to the middle. May now with the ball. They're getting out to the wing. They've got a chance if he gets it off, but he doesn't as Morgie gets brought down on the 10 now. Last tackle for the Robins. Any live stream on YouTube? Fortunately, not Alan. Halkar still have the ball. They're going to the grab a kick into the corner, and it's going to be another try. Joe Burgess in his 250th career game. It's 16-0 to the Robins. This Brisbane are getting torn apart. And again, they're capitalising on the mistakes here by the Rovers has been very important. But yeah, Alan, I haven't really seen any actual live streams of the games on YouTube. If you've got a VPN, BBC iPlay is the best way to do it. You obviously got to set it to the UK. So Tymo with a kick to the left-hand side of the field. It gets battered backwards. It goes to Jez Litton, who grubber kicks it into Arthur Morgue, who scores right in front of what seems to be the allocated away bay for the Brisbane Broncos. 16-0 with a kick to come again. Still should say, Brisbane can still come back from this because we've seen they've done it in the past before. But they look like they're in some trouble. But this is, if you're a Super League purist, you're loving this. As Joe Burgess scores his 5th try in the World Club Challenge, who is tied for the most tries in the history of the World Club Challenge. That's a pretty darn interesting stat in his 250th career game, no less. But yeah, Jez Litton with a great grubber kick, obviously a part of the English side in the Ashes last year. So this will be the more difficult kick here, as it's not even Morgan, it's Reece Martin. I mean, he is a very good goal kicker, so near from the sideline. This to make it 18-0 to Hull Kingston Rovers. And he's got it perfectly down the middle. 17 minutes remaining. It is 18-0 to Hull Kingston Rovers over the Brisbane Broncos. And this is just unbelievable for this. But again, still, there's Hulk Hogan. Is that? Oh, that's Nathan Hindmarsh, surely. If not, then that's the ringer for Nathan Hindmarsh. And here we go, Brisbane shell shock. They need a try. If they make it a try and then make it like, say, 18-6, it won't be as bad. But I mean, if Hull Kingston Rovers score again, Brisbane are in serious trouble. As Oliver Gildar gets brought down just shy of the 30 here for the second tackle. Now coming into the final 16 minutes of the first half. So number 15 there of Sam Luckley. That's actually wide for the number 16. Okay, good set here. As Reece Martin gets brought down on halfway for the 4th tackle. Too much partying in the off-season for the Bronx. Yeah, but also, this is like their first competitive match as well, whilst obviously Hulk are starting in their season, so this could be a decent factor. There's a high kick here, last tackle. Reece Walsh takes it inside the 10 and gets brought down now inside the 10. I think if the Robins want to continue their dominance, they need to keep Brisbane down the field. So second tackle, still on the 10. Ezra Mam now with the ball. And he gets brought down inside the 20 for the third tackle. Honestly, they need to bring Ben Hunt on here, as it looks like another substitute's coming on for Brisbane. But yeah, I think Ben Hunt needs to come into this team stat. Not saying that Mam or Reynolds has done anything wrong, but it's just I need some type of spark. As Jensen, last tackle kick, trying to go for a 40-20, but it's dropped back by Tom Davies, who picks it up on the 10. And he'll get wrapped up just shy of the 30 for the first tackle for the Robins as we're now into the final 15 minutes of this first half. Yeah, I don't know what to say. This has just been a complete another shock to the system. As the Robins now trying to go up the guts. And third tackle, they're just shy of halfway here, so pretty decent set here so far, as that is Minchella. Gets an offload off to May. And a gap, and it's a line break. Here we go, Morgu gets the support, it's Batchelor. Oh, and it's batted away. Set restart as it's caught by Lytton as Ezra Mam tries to intercept it. 10 metres out, a full set of 6 now for the Robins, just like that, with a line break from Morgu. Flat ball out to Gildart, and Gildart gets brought down inside the 10 here. It was a 0 tackle, actually, so this will be the first. Now Whitbread, sorry, gets brought down 5 from the try line. Second tackle. They'll try to go now centrally. Lewis to Minchella. Minchella just short of the line. It's a set restart as well here. Another set here for the Robins. So from the first tackle, May. Now to Morgu. To find Hiku. And Hiku gets brought down 5 away now. Second tackle. They're just trying to find any gap. Morgu again trying to go from dummy half, but he'll get held up a couple of metres from the line. Third tackle. Now out to the left. Possible gaps as they fling it out. That's going to be a knock on. It's great defence there by Brisbane. And that's, yep, going to count as a knock on. But finally, something going Brisbane's way as they get the ball back on their 10. Yeah, great ball by Tyro May. Shielding pass out to the back to get it up to Morgu. But yeah, this should have realistically resulted in a try for the Robins. But it's just unfortunate there. So Brisbane, they do get a good tackle to force a mistake there, because I feel like with where Reece Martin's kind of been, and of him being the target, it's a little bit compact on that left-hand side from that set. So here we go. Adam Reynolds with the scrum on the 10. And that's the first error by the Robins so far this half, as we're now 12 and a half remaining before half time. So just waiting now, and that is Karapani inside of the 20 for the first tackle. So Towers come on for Xavier Willison, the number 17. So Brisbane now on the 30 for the third tackle. They need a try here. Payne Haas goes to the run. He'll get brought down on the 40 for the fourth tackle. Now Carrigan. They're trying to go to the right-hand side here. And there's a run by Ricky. Gets the offload to Reece Walsh. Reece Walsh flings it out to the wing. And Mariner gets brought down 10 metres out from the try line on the far right-hand side. Last tackle for the Broncos. Reynolds to Walsh. Walsh goes for a crossfield kick. It's going to be taken on the 10. It's batted backwards. This should count as a try for Shibasaki. They're going to go up as no tries. It was a crossfield kick. No, they've awarded it. So Brisbane finally on the board. As it was a crossfield kick by Reece Walsh, caught by Karapani, who gets, when he catches it, gets wrapped up and passes it back into play, which is picked up by the number 4, Yomat Shibasaki, who grounds it on the, for the try. We'll just have a quick look. I don't think there's anything wrong with the play, so it should just be awarded as a try. Brilliant pass backwards there by Karapani, who gets the try there for Yomat Shibasaki. But what a signing on a train and trial. A train and trial contract. He got into the Queensland team. He got into the Australian team. And that's... Or are they... Is that bounced by Shibasaki? Is that grounding a bounce? Because if that is, there could be a possibility he could get taken away from him. Still good, loving the high-scoring game. It's going pretty good. But yeah, surely he's grounded that. I think that'd be very, very risky if that doesn't get awarded as a try. But that'd be really weird. There we go. 18 tries. Most tries out of the Broncos team last season. And this is what I said Brisbane needed. So 18-6 wouldn't be too bad. If they can make it 18-12, so despite how good the Robins have been this half, and Brisbane can make it close going into the sheds, that's going to be very much beneficial for them into the momentum. And don't forget, yep, Jimbo's correct. Comeback kings. We saw it all throughout the finals last season. So Adam Reynolds here, kick from the sideline. This to make it 18-6 as we enter the final 10 minutes of the first half. I actually don't mind this World Club Challenge kick. The crowd's definitely not helping the situation. It's right from the sideline. And the kick, he tries to curl it back, but he won't. To be fair, where the advertisement board is, it's not giving him much room for a run-up. So it's going to remain 18-4. But Brisbane finally have snapped the control that we've seen from Hull KR. And have gotten the try. So 18-10 wouldn't be too bad. So if they do get another try here. Just waiting for the kickoff here by Mikey Lewis. And we're back underway as Brisbane now get the kickoff to them. There's Karapani. Takes it inside the 10 and gets brought down inside of the 20 for the first tackle for Brisbane. I'm happy with that, still 14 up. Yeah, definitely. Because the thing is, though, you definitely need scoring anyways for the over 38.5 points. So you just got to hope it keeps it like at this sort of score disparity. And that's something that Hull KR didn't want. They've given away a penalty for a within the ruck. So chance here for Brisbane to get into good field position as Reynolds kicks it into touch. And the ball will be placed 35 metres away from the try line. So this will be the first. So full set of 6 now, 35 away. This to start closing the gap by Hull Kingston Rovers. Here we go. So 20 out, first tackle. Now Payne Haas gets brought down inside of the 20 for the second tackles. We're 8.5 now remaining in this first half. Now Reynolds gives it off to Gachewski. 10 out, third tackle. Brisbane trying to find another breakthrough. Carrigan gets it off to Payne Haas. An offload to just shy of the line here for Corey Pies. Fourth tackle now for Brisbane. Ezra Mam tries to go himself. He'll get, almost grounds it. Does he lose the ball? Okay, they're having a look at this. They're trying to see if Ezra Mam loses possession. By the way it looks, it did. So it won't be a try. But it's just the question is, does Ezra Mam lose possession of the ball? I thought he was able to get the ball down. He got close, but he did get held up. But does he lose the ball? So video ref now looking. Does Ezra Mam lose the ball? Because this is the thing. If it's a possible strip motion, then it could be a penalty to Brisbane. The ball does pop out. They're just looking at all the available camera options. They're trying to see how the ball comes out. So it's definitely not a try here for Brisbane, but they're just looking to see how does the ball come free. Okay, there we go. It's going to be a penalty to Brisbane for Jez Litton stripping the ball away from Ezra Mam. So it is no try, but it is going to be a penalty to Brisbane. Okay, Arthur Morgue's clutching his shoulder, the fullback for the Robins. Doesn't look any live video for William. Unfortunately not. I mean, it's only the game's only been on KO. I wish I had a way to help you, William, unfortunately, but I just don't. If you try kick, maybe there could be someone streaming it there. You don't know. As Willison, there's Tower, sorry, right on the line here for the first tackle. Can Brisbane try to get a try to keep this? It's a weird pass, and it's going to be a knock-on anyways by Brisbane. That's very much a blown opportunity there. Very, very disappointing that bit of play. Tries to fling it out to the right. But to be fair, the pass from Reynolds was really weird. He doesn't get all of it because it's Katoni Staggs just run into the line and just cause Reynolds to try to get some sort of pass off. It's Katoni Staggs, I just got to say, he hasn't been playing up to his usual best. And that's a blind chance with a full set, 10 out. So 7 minutes now remaining in this half. Still 18-4 in favour of the Robins. 15 away from the try line from the first tackle as Carl Lawton has come on to replace Elliot Minchella. Now inside the 30 here for the second tackle. 18-4 wouldn't be the worst score for Hull to come into, but I feel like for momentum and such, they really kind of should just be getting into the sheds, and that's something there. It's a penalty. Penalty there for Hull Kingston Rovers for not getting out of the ruck. So this will be a kick into touch here for Mikey Lewis. And he boots it, and it'll go out on Brisbane's 40. So 40 out, a full set of 6. Can the Robins get another try and restore a larger lead as Reece Martin gets brought down on the 30 for the first tackle? Just now trying to find some type of gap here. Sawaso Sue back on the field. He gets held up 25 away from the line for the second tackle. Just trying to find any gap. Or run through the guts. Almost there. 15 out for the third tackle. There's a couple of oldies on the field. There's Tyrone May. Flings it out to the right as that's Lewis. He gets brought down on the 10 for the fourth tackle. As we're now 5.5 minutes remaining in this half. Tyrone May. Gone all the way back out to the 20 here for their play. Not really much in this tackle. Here you go. Last tackle, 15 out. They'll go to the left-hand side. May flings it off to Litton with the grubber. But Reece Walsh slides in and gets brought down inside the 10 for the first tackle. So you really should have a big defensive set here by Hull KR. And it's again inside the 10 here for the second tackle as that was Mariner who gets held up. Now Tony Staggs gets brought down in about 15 for the third. Now that's the number 17 of Tower. Still inside the 20 here, Brisbane. They probably need to go for an early kick, and they will. And it is going to go out at the Hull KR 40. As we're now 4.5 minutes remaining in this first half. And 18-0 up, Hull Kingston Rovers were at one point, but Brisbane were finally able to crack the momentum swing. Oh, hang on, that's a 20-40, is it? They might have to look at this, because if it is, it's a 20-40. It's borderline close. They're actually going to have a look at this. I completely forgot the 20-40 was a thing. But they've said it hasn't, but I mean, on review, that looked really close. I reckon it would have just missed, but wouldn't mind having a look at that again. But anyways, Hull Kingston Rovers with the ball. Tom Davies gets brought down 45 away from the try line as we're now into the final 4 minutes of this first half. Can the Robins get more tries? As that's Batchelor gets brought down. It's not Batchelor, sorry. It is Whitbread. 30 out now. Robins still trying to find a gap. Gildart gets brought down 20 away from the try line for the fourth tackle. Flings it out to May. Now they go to Lewis. Gives it off to Hiku. But Hiku will get ankle tapped and will get brought down 15 away from the... Nope, still play on. Nope, they've called held. So will be the last tackle. Here we go. 15 out. Last tackle for the Robins. Flings it out to May to the left-hand side. Now to Litton. Litton breaks the line. Tries to get an offload off, but there's no player. And it's going to be a changeover. So Brisbane gets the ball inside of their 10 as we're now into the final 3 minutes of the first half. So here we go. The number 5, Dean Mariner, brought down from the first. And now Karapani, again at the 10 for the second tackle. 2.5 now remaining in this first half. Shibasaki now gets brought down to the 20. That could be targeting the legs. Carl needs to be careful there because that could have been a penalty. And now out to the right-hand side. Here we go. Reece Walsh. This is what they needed. Attacking down the right-hand side. He's going to go himself. He's still going. And he goes for the kick. And there's a... Oh, it's out, nearly out on the full. It's too much juice. But, I mean, that just shows how quickly Reece Walsh can insert himself into the game. But he was get wrapped up, and he goes for the kick, and he's just absolutely twatted it. And nearly goes out on the fill over the dead ball line. But yeah, he definitely should have gotten a pass off. He had multiple people. He was trying to kick for Jordan Ricky. It generally almost went out on the full. So this will be a 7-tackle set from the 20-metre line for Hull Kingston Rovers as we now enter almost the final 100 seconds of this first half. He's such a scary player to bet against. He honestly is. Like, he steps and runs like absolute crazy. There's a reason why, in my opinion, he's the best player in the NRL. And he's still quite young. So he's still got a couple of years of his prime to go. He's got plenty if he keeps it on going. But Robins now still trying to find her way into Brisbane's half. They've got numbers if they go to the wing. That's passed into Brisbane. That should be a double knock on. And Karapani with a great tackle, which has forced Brisbane to get the ball. But a really great play there by Brisbane for the defence. Karapani forcing the great tackle there on Peter Hiku. And so scrum feed now just shy of halfway. Full set of 6 here for Brisbane, but they've only got about 40 seconds remaining here. Can they somehow get a try going into the sheds? Because 18-10, not as bad as 18-4. How many minutes left? There's about 35 seconds left. Passing it out to Reece Walsh. And Walsh will get brought down 40 away from the try line for the first tackle. 25 seconds remaining. We'll go now. Now it's Willison. It's not Willison, it's Tower. 35 away from the try line here for the second tackle. 15 seconds left. Walsh goes short side with the pass. Breakthrough down the line for Jordan Ricky. Gets the offload for Corey Pyatt. And he gets held up just short of the line. Last tackle. Can he get a pass off? They do. They fling it out to Reynolds. Reynolds needs to get a kickoff to the left-hand side. And it's batted away by Tom Davies into touch. And we'll go into the sheds 18-4. But this has been a fantastic first half as a standing ovation from the Hull Kingston Rovers fans. And that will end the first half 18-4 in favour of the Robins. But Brisbane are definitely starting to knock on the door with a lot of their players. And it's, of course, Reece Walsh being the main figurehead of this. So second half could be really interesting. But okay, so that is the end of the first half. But 22 points, not too bad for a first half. So if we're going to go for a poll for half time, I don't know what to put it up as. Also, thank you for everybody who is joining us on this stream. But I guess in terms of a poll, we'll put up who will score first in the second half. Because I feel like it's going to be very important, because if the Robins score, then they go up to a possible, like genuinely very much a possible 20-point lead. But if Brisbane score, they can cut it down to 8 and have momentum. So I'll put up the question, who will score first, of Hull Kingston Rovers or the Brisbane Broncos? But no, this has been a great half of football. But yeah, obviously, so far, if I have to put a player going through, I mean, Jez Lennon being very important for Hull Kingston Rovers getting some of the tries. So there is the poll, ladies and gentlemen. As I got an advertisement here for Rugby League Las Vegas. We'll be possibly streaming those games, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens there. So currently split down the middle with 2, 50-50. So what does happen here? But yeah, I mean, definitely with some of the momentum that Brisbane have had in the last sort of 10, 15 minutes, it has been really important. But it's just they haven't really translated it more so into tries. Which could be a factor, but you don't really know. But yeah, I mean, Rugby League Las Vegas next week. You got Bulldogs, Hull Kingston Rovers taking on the Leeds Rhinos. And you got my team, the Knights, playing the Cowboys. I'm scared for this season because of how where we're going to go. And you got Bulldogs, Dragons. Could be doing those, but we don't know. At this point in time, we might not be able to. But 6 votes, 4-2 in favour of the Brisbane Broncos. Into scoring the first half. I mean, so far, they definitely are. I believe the first, it'll be Hull Kingston Rovers will get the first set from kickoff into the second half. So, yeah, it's definitely going pretty darn well so far. Is there, No, I obviously had the poll up there, but does anyone know specifically who they scored? Do I think it could be Reece Walsh for Brisbane? Could it be a certain player for Hull Kingston Rovers? You just don't know. But yeah, does anyone have any specific players they are pointing to saying that is going to be the person who gets to try in the second half? But yeah, we're just now getting to the point of just a brilliant start of this. I mean, it's just been a brilliant half of football so far. You're starting to get Brisbane now back into it, but it's just, I mean, there is obviously the added shock of people now starting to wake up, looking at the score and going, what? Essentially is what's been happening here. But yeah, it's but one thing that needs to be highlighted is Arthur Morgie, the fullback for Hull Kingston Rovers, was clutching at his pec, so he could be out for the rest of the match, which could be quite serious. But I mean, he was obviously one of the key figureheads for one of the tries, so you just don't know what's going to happen. 9 votes. Oh, 8 votes. 9 votes. There's 9 votes down. 2/3 majority for the Brisbane Broncos to get the first try in the second half. Because, I mean, do we think this could be a grandstand finish? I don't know. Shibasaki on man to get the first point second half. That's definitely good backing there, Jimbo. I mean, Shibasaki was the player to get the sole try for Brisbane. Just see if that keeps on going, really, because it's just been going. I mean, it just shows how important Shibasaki has been in this so far. But as the peak started to go down a little bit, but then again, we are also at halftime. But yeah, thank you all very much for watching and enjoying this. We are planning on doing a couple of more games from the Super League season. We've got one tomorrow. There is currently, in my channel, there's a poll of 3 matches that are on at the exact same time, and it's just like we just decide which one are we going to do. I think it's currently a dead heat between Leeds and York, and I'm trying to think, I think it's Bradford and Catalan, I believe, off memory. But there is also the third option of St. Helens and the Leigh Leopards. So, if you want to vote for that. But then we're also doing 2 Super League matches on the Sunday, which is... I'll actually have to pull that up, because I don't even know my own schedule, because I am not good at this. Let me just have a quick look on the YouTube and see what that does. So we have, it's Toulouse versus Castleford and Wigan versus Hull FC. So there you go. It's just what you want to see. But Tomomono, what a great try. So those looking for the try scorers, it is Tomomono, Joe Burgess, and Elliot Minchella, not, I was thinking about Minicello there, but those 3 players for Hull Kingston Rovers and Garamat Shibasaki for the Brisbane Broncos. But I mean, Jez Litton, really good this match. I feel like if I had to pick a man of the match so far, it would probably be him at this point, but I mean, definitely Brisbane trying to wrestle their way back into this matchup, to say the very least. 13 votes they're coming in on who will score first in the second half, and it's a 77% majority in favour of the Brisbane Broncos. I mean, it's definitely not shocking to see with most of the pressure coming in the latter stages of the second half, being more likely of Brisbane to score, but they just haven't been able to get it done yet. Let's see if Joe Hargraves has woken himself up, because he was drowsy in the first half. But yeah, this has been a very exciting and interesting match. I mean, if Brisbane, they are known as king of the comebacks. They came back against Canberra. They came back against Penrith. And they came back against the Melbourne Storm in the finals series. So you just don't know. You just don't know. But no, this has been brilliant. But yeah, I definitely need to set up a thing this more so of, because I guess the goal is to set up a Discord server where I'm able to stream the games, because obviously there is a lot of people that do come on here trying to look for games. So I definitely need to try to do something as an alternative. It's like, oh hey, go to the. It also helps grow the Discord. You'd say so. This is something I definitely need to work on in the next. Anything more so. But yeah, so 15 votes now, 73% in favour of the Brisbane Broncos as it's now turned 7:30. It's about to turn 7:30 here in Australia. But Elliot Minchella, yeah, do we think there's a sin bin in this? I don't know. I think everyone's sort of alright at the moment. I don't think there was like handbags in the first 90 seconds, but I just don't think there's going to be really any sort of proper fight or anything. But yeah, you got to think though, Michael Maguire, if there's going to be one coach who's going to start tearing him a new sphincter, it's definitely going to be him. So. But yeah, this is definitely... Tony Staggs definitely, I feel like... He hasn't been at his best so far this match, but I just think if he just tries to fix through, he could be alright for Brisbane, because he has made a couple of incorrect runs, and he has made a couple of mistakes, so we just need to keep it... Just keep it consistent, and just keep running smoothly, and we could see him come back in. So yeah, you just don't really know here, but still 16 votes, 75-25. So pretty much all the polls have been roughly around that period. Yeah, Reece Walsh still can very much definitely come in here and cause a considerate ruckus. Jerry Hargreaves, he's just very mellow talker, or he is tired, because... But yeah, just trying to see how the Broncos... I mean, obviously, Rhea Hargreaves definitely knows about this Hull KR team, was a part of them last year as they won the treble. And Tomamone was the player they brought in to replace him, and he scored the first try. So, what's there to say? So, can Brisbane get another famous comeback and take out the World Club Challenge? Or could it be the Robins who just keeps going and takes it out and keeps it in England for the third consecutive time? So now 18 votes, 78% in favour of Brisbane to take out Hull Kingston Rovers. Can we watch Albanians? Unfortunately, I've got no way of being able to watch it. There's no game footage, unfortunately. If you've got a VPN, if you switch it to the United Kingdom and go to BBC iPlayer, you should be able to watch it there. If not, I'd suggest looking at Kick, the streaming service Kick, to see if somebody's on there, because you just don't know. But yeah, unfortunately, I've got no way. Second half start. We're about a couple of minutes away from there. They've just gone away from the halftime talking point, and they're now in the final bit of ads before the start of the second half. yeah, I'm definitely going to need to work on a. Hey, you just want to watch the game? Join the Discord, and just have and be able to stream it there and then. Unless there's somewhere I could do it really sneakily and have glasses that reflect it, which would be rather cheeky. 21 votes now, 76%. So still been roughly around that similar period. So yep, just waiting now as to be fair, I feel like I've released that World Club Challenge preview and predictions video a bit late because it came out only like 12, 13 hours ago, and I really should have gotten it out the day before. So it gives it more time to breathe and also get more views. But this is just how it is. 27 views. Okay, we're getting some more in there. So yeah, we're almost there. They're definitely starting to get some ads up for Australian for Football Australia as we're getting close to the start of the Women's Asian Cup being held in Australia. Might do a couple of games of streaming there, just depends on what happens. I am going to the final though, which will be hopefully to see if the Matildas can do well there. But right, 28 votes, 79% in favour of Brisbane. Yeah, it's pretty darn consistent, you got to say the least. Okay, this will be the only time I'm going to do this, but if you want to know when I am live, the best sort of place would be my Instagram, because that's when I put the stories up. So my social links is in the description. You don't have to, and I hate doing it, but it's just like if you just want to, I guess there's that. There's 30 votes now we've gone over. Thank you very much. I think we got like to 40 votes in the first poll before the match, so that's pretty good to say at the very least. The Friends meal. Still getting more Vegas ads, so we're starting to get back almost near the second half. But here we go, just almost there now. As we're still getting more ads of Rugby League in Las Vegas. I mean, but not really shocking. Here we go. So following the World Club Challenge is the Fox Theatre, where the Brisbane players are reviewing the grand final. So 34 votes now, still around similar, 79%. I'm pretty sure this was what the percentage was leading into the start of the match. They definitely need, honestly, they kind of need, hopefully watch that second half of that grand final, because that's what they need to do here to close out the Robins. So here we're almost there. Yeah, we're almost there. 52 people watching from this currently. Thank you all very much. Anyone who has joined this has been really good. It's been a while since I've done these streams properly, but we're definitely getting back into it, and I'm enjoying any minute of it. Okay, we're close away. We're only a couple of minutes away now from the start of the second half. So can Hull Kingston Rovers keep it going with them with that first 20-minute interlude and just keep playing their system and get the win? Or can the Brisbane Broncos, like they did in the finals, keep the final 10 minutes of their momentum and just keep it on going and get a comeback once again and a win? So here, okay, just waiting now for both teams to come out on the field. So more footage of the band. Kind of looks like Ange Postecoglou. I've just not to disrespect the band that's performing, but there's a little bit of an Ange Postecoglou about the singer. As they're now talking to Sky Sports talking to Michael Maguire. See, this is really weird. It's like there's no Fox cameras. So this is just literally the Sky broadcast with Andrew Voss and Greg Alexander commentating on it from Sydney. So there we go. 18-4 is the halftime score. We're still waiting for both teams now to come out onto the field, as we're almost ready for the second half. We're nervously waiting. It's 7:35. We're giddy. We're giddy for the second half. Just seen the Sports Shed TV charity match for anyone in Australia who wants to support that on Sunday. The Goanna Academy assistant coach they've just announced is bloody Greg Inglis. That's awesome. I'll probably end up being there. Not too sure at this current rate. But we're almost ready for this. 41 votes. Thank you all guys for the votes. 80-20. I don't know if that's mathematically possible with odd number of votes, but 80% majority in favour of Brisbane getting the first try in the second half. Just waiting now for both teams to come out. They're really trying to fill out time here. In terms of some stats, run meter has been pretty even. Tackles in opposition 20, 31 in favour of Hull Kingston Rovers and 13 for Brisbane. But yeah, 57% possession for Hull KR. Can they keep this going? As lights have come back on. Just now waiting for both teams now to return to the field. There we go. The Brisbane Broncos now out. It would be Hull Kingston Rovers getting first bit of possession in this second stanza. But here we go. Hull Kingston Rovers now running out onto the field as the Sky talking to the coach. Is 83% in favour for Brisbane. For the votes, we're probably about a minute away from the start of the second half, so we are going to end the poll. 47 votes. Thank you all very much for voting. 83% have gone in favour of Brisbane Broncos getting the first try of the second half. I mean, with the closing momentum they had in the first half, not shocking at all. So we're just waiting now. Brisbane running screen left with Hull Kingston Rovers getting first possession of the ball, as I see some half and half scarves in the crowd. To be fair, they're not really going to play each other off, and so I think this is a pass. There's kickoff, and we are underway for the second half as it's caught inside the 10. Suaso Su gets the hit up and gets brought down inside of the 20 for the first tackle for the Robins in this second half. And now the Robins now just trying to find their way through the middle. Wrapped up inside of the 30 for the second tackle. But yeah, our first try for Hull KR is going to be very important for them to set the tone. Whitbread now gets brought down on the 30 for the third tackle. And that's a run up the middle there. I believe it's Dean Hadley who gets onto the 40 for the fourth tackle. Now to the left-hand side, Reece Martin. And it's not what Brisbane wanted. It's a high shot by Brisbane, and it's a penalty right on halfway for Hull KR. That's just not... And there's also been on the last tackle as well. There's Mikey Lewis kicked into touch. And the Robins will get the ball 25 metres away from the try line with a full set of 6 to get the first try, possibly, in this second half. So run up the guts in the middle. This will be the first tackle on the 20 as that's Whitbread. Flinging it back now into the middle. Suaso Su gets an offload to Lawton. Now to Hadley. And Hadley gets brought down inside of the 10 now for the second tackle. Can the Robins strike first in this half? Out to the right-hand side. Peter Hiku tries to go under the post, but gets held back 5 metres short of the line now for the third tackle. Lawton! About a metre short of the line, and you don't go for a double movement there, because that would have been change over possession. Still the fourth tackle. Lytton! High shot around the line! Is that going to be a penalty? And it will be another set. As it was Patrick Carrigan, I believe, with the high shot. So full set of... Ooh, question. Full set of 6, 10 metres out, or do you go for the conversion to make it a 16-point lead? But it's... Nah, you go for the try. So unfortunately there, so Carrigan giving away the penalty for a high shot. 10 metres out, full set of 6. They're going to go for the try. As we're now 2.5 minutes gone in this second half. As Sawaso Su gets brought down just shy of, it's about 5 metres out from the line here for the first tackle. Now Whitbread, 5 from the line here, second tackle. They're going out to the left-hand side here. Tyrone May with a flat ball. And Lewis now 5 out of the line here. Possible obstruction, objection here by Brisbane. Still third tackle. Lytton gives it off to Whitbread. He'll get brought down on the 10 here for the fourth tackle. As we're now 3 minutes into this second half. May to Sue. Sue's just short of the line here, close to the line. Last tackle here for Brisbane. For Hull, sorry. Tyrone May in no man's land. Goes for the grubber. Bit of a chase. But it's jockeyed away by Karapani. And it's going to be a 20-metre restart. And a 7-tackle set by Brisbane. So good defensive awareness there. As Karapani gets brought down on their on the 30 for the 0 tackle for Brisbane. Just shy now of the 40 for the first tackle of this set, but Brisbane defence did well. It's kind of like Carlkinson Rovers just didn't really know what to do on that attack, which was a little unfortunate for them there. Now Carrigan takes the hit up and he'll get brought down 45 away from the try line here for the third tackle. And now Brisbane get up to 30 away from the try line for the fourth tackle. So it's definitely better set in terms of field positioning here for the Broncos. With no penalty. Okay, Haas gets brought down. 25 out from the try line. Last tackle for Brisbane. They'll fling it off to the right-hand side. Grubber by Reynolds. And a Brisbane player, Tony Staggs, appealing for a possible penalty. And Joe Burgess gets the ball and gets brought down inside the 10 for the first tackle. But to be honest, I think that was a bit of a milk there by Tony Staggs. Now, big defensive set needed by Brisbane here. Second tackle. Hull KR still inside of their 10. And third tackle, they're still on their 10. So this is what Brisbane need to do. They need to smother this Robins team. There's Peter Hiku actually. Gets brought down on the 20 for the fourth tackle. Do you go for a 20-40 here possibly? Nah, it's not enough positioning for them to do it, as that is Lytton, who gets brought down on the 30. And Ben Hunt now on the field at hooker for Corey Pye. And there's the kick on the 30. And down in the middle, it's a penalty appeal because the kicker was taken out. But Karapani takes the ball, gets the offload off for Reece Walsh. Walsh still going, but he'll get wrapped up inside of the 30 for the first tackle for Brisbane. It's a little bit of an incidental take out there by Payne Haas. So that's now Shibasaki just shy of the 40 for the second tackle, and Karapani takes the ball from dummy half and gets brought down on the 50 for the third tackle. So Brisbane certainly getting more metres for their sets so far. Reynolds finds the gap, gets a grubber off for Mariner. It does bounce well for him, and it should be the fourth tackle. Okay, 15 out, fourth tackle still. Katoni Staggs from dummy half, trying to find a gap. He's getting the steps, gets the offload off for Ben Hunt. Payne Haas. Haas now running inside the 10. Gets an offload for Ezra Mam. Ezra Mam doesn't know what to do. He grubbers down the middle. That's the wrong choice. Mikey Lewis catches it on the try line. And it's first tackle for the Robins on the 10. It was the fourth tackle. He should have just passed it. Or even just run it. I just don't understand why he's gone for the grubber there. So that's the number 17 there of Reece Martin now. Just shy of the 30 for the third tackle, as we're now almost 7 minutes gone in this second half. Fourth tackle now for the Robins, just shy of the 40. They're just trying to play the motions. But yeah, it's just quite showing of how Brisbane are getting a lot more metres for their average set. As this is the last tackle kick by Lewis. Didn't get past halfway. And they're going to... Reece Walsh lets it bounce and he'll go out on the full. 20 metres 20-metre tap and a 7 tackle set for Brisbane. Like, honestly, they should just keep doing that if it gets them the field position, because it has worked for them so far this match. So just shy of the 30 here for the 0. So Ben Hunt now on the field as the hooker, as that is Shibasaki, who gets brought down just shy of the 40 for the first tackle for Brisbane. So yeah, Brisbane just need to keep the play going here as Gutierski gets brought down. Okay, Carrigan goes over halfway here for the third tackle, 45 away from the try line. Now Payne Haas gets the offload to Ezra Mam. Mam now just going to run it himself, and he'll get brought down 35 metres away from the try line for the fourth tackle. Now down the left-hand side here, Reece Walsh gets a pass out to Gutierski. Thinks about an offload, but he gets brought down now. 15 out from the try line. Last tackle for Brisbane. Flings it off the short inside to the left. Walsh gets a pass off, and that's a reach out for Brisbane. Has Shibasaki scored? They're going to rule it as a knock-on. It did look like a less than confirming grounding attempt. I think it was also maybe short. Let's have a look. Ooh. He was very close to grounding. He didn't lose it on the ground. It was following it afterwards. But it was also probably a forward pass, actually. No, he was short. He tried to roll it, but he was short. And Reece Walsh is kind of saying that Shibasaki just hit the line and charge at it. It's just not been happening that much there, as Whitbread gets the ball on their second tackle on their 20. And now Tyrone May gets brought down. No, it's Minchella, actually. Gets brought down on the 30 for the third tackle, as we're now past 9 minutes remaining. 9 minutes gone, sorry, in this second half. And it's 18-4 for the Robins. Now Tyrone May will get wrapped up on Brisbane's 40 here. So this will be the last tackle here for the Robins. It's given out to Lewis. Lewis with a kick to the left-hand side. Burgess is going to pressure. And that's coughed up. And it's an offload. It's a mistake. And the Robins get the first try in the second half. It's Tom. We got to process. Oliver Gildart scores. It's 22 points to 4, meaning after 48 votes, only 17% correct, as it's the Robins who get first try in this second half. So it was a kick from Mikey Lewis to put pressure on, I believe it was Karapani, and he goes up and loses it, and the knock-on lands right into the palms of a Rovers player and gets the offload. And it's now 22 points to 4 with a kick to come. That is not what Brisbane wanted to happen. And now we've got a conversion attempt. This to make it a what's going to be a possible 20-point gap for the Robins in this game. That is major. So 48 votes. Only 83% went in favour of Brisbane to score in the second half. And from the latter stages of the first half, that was what the momentum was pointing to. But another chance taken by the Robins, and they get it done. This is surprising. So, wow. To be fair, I will say in my preview and prediction video, I did say I think Brisbane would win. Reece Martin here for the conversion attempt to make it 2 from 2. And he slots it. It's 24 points to 4 with 28 and a half remaining in this matchup. And in the competing bit, here's Suaso Su for the hit-up, I believe. Or it was Whitbread, I believe. Gets brought down inside of the 20. First at the tackle. No, just at the 20 here. And just Hulkauer just happily to play through the set here. Third tackle, they're just shy of the 30. And Michael Maguire not happy. It just really seems that the Brisbane Broncos at this point have just come over here for a holiday. As Minchella, just shy of the 40 for the fourth. They're just shy of halfway there for the last tackle. Appeal for a penalty won't happen. And Lewis now goes for the kick. And Mariner takes this well, and he gets brought down inside of the 20. Reece Martin possibly thinking about a one-on-one strip, but it doesn't happen. So Brisbane just need to think of something. As Ben Talty has now come onto the field to replace Alex Tower. So Shibasaki there gets brought down just past Brisbane's 40 for the third tackle. But yeah, this is very interesting. Karapani gets brought down on halfway for the fourth tackle. Carrigan tries to hit the line, but will get brought down just shy of the Robbins 40. Blockman, yeah, it's a very interesting situation as Reynolds with the last tackle kick. And Lewis tries to take it, and it's picked up by Peter Hiku, and you get brought down. So Mikey Lewis is now playing fullback after Morgue, the starting fullback, was having issues with his pectoral muscles. So yeah, Mikey Lewis very much important in this game. So 30, third tackle there. They get to the 20. So just still simple sets here coming in as Lytton gets brought down on the 30 for the fourth tackle. We're now 26 minutes remaining in this match. It's an early kick attempt for a 40-20. It's gone past the 20. Will it make it to the 10? It does. Where's the incentive by Reece Walsh to run for it? And Mikey Lewis kicks a 40-20. It's more of a 40-10 actually. 10 metres out, full set of 6, and the Robins can keep going. Where's the incentive for Reece Walsh? I know he probably wouldn't get it, but still, try. Now Broncos out now to the right-hand side of defence. And there's the first tackle here, 10 metres out. So this is the second tackle. Now, Amone, who got the first try in this match, 5 metres out now, third tackle. Now it's Minchella, who also got a try so far this game. Fourth tackle, 5 out. Can the Robins find a gap? They'll fling it off to May. Now to Lewis. Lewis just doesn't know what to do here, but he'll run himself and get brought down 10 metres out from the try line. Last tackle for Hull Kingston Rovers. Sprints it out to the right. May, does he know it's last tackle? He goes for a grubber. There's a chase. It's a perfect kick. And Peter Hiku scores. It's 28-4. We were expecting a war, but we're getting a massacre. Logman, Broncos going down. I thought Broncos said Panthers could not be Halka, so we will. How funny. Sorry for Broncos. This... Also just want to state... half the Hull KR and the Super League teams have about a third or half of the salary cap of the NRL. Just saying this right now, if they were even, Australians are never winning the World Club Challenge. And here's the thing, and I know you got the talking points of whatever and that, but there's no excuse for this. This Brisbane team, in the latter stages of 2025, were the best team in the competition for the NRL. But they are getting pimp-slacked here. This is a massive result so far, if this keeps going. I know, again, Brisbane are the comeback kings, but they're making it hard. Bearing in mind also, Hull KR were paying $5 to win this game on the sports bet markets. So, Cryptic Tony, lead 38.5. You only need 6 more points. Or 6 or 7 more points. I'm sorry I said that, because I just know that type of thing. Peter Hiku, 201 games in his NRL career, and he gets a try tonight. And we've now got a chance to make it 30 points to 4. Well, I'm so happy. It's going good. We just need to ride smooth for the next 20 minutes. The conversion successful. It's 30 points to 4. 23 minutes remaining in this second half. This is just... They don't score 50, do they? They don't score 50, do they? Do they? Oh, we're entering some dangerous territory if this is the case. But this has just been brilliant as the kickoff is underway. And it's an attempted short kickoff. And the ball bounces inside of the 10. They're going for a short kickoff 22 minutes into the game. That's the state Brisbane are in. So there's a possibility they've just talked about. Only 3 Super League teams have done the quadruple of winning the League Leaders Shield, the Challenge Cup, the Super League title, and the World Club Challenge. Could Hull KR. They're very much on the way to the 4th. Amone now last tackle. They're about 30 away from the try line. Fings it off to Lewis, who kicks it high on the 40. Burgess is chasing for it. Dean Mariner gets the catch inside the 20 here for the first tackle, but this is just... So, essentially all you need, Cryptic, is just one more try, I believe. Essentially, because you need 38.5 points. Oh, you need like a try and a conversion. And then you just need Hull KR to keep the 13 plus. And it's absolute brilliance as Karapani now gets brought down just past Brisbane's 30 for the 4th tackle. 60% possession in favour of Hull KR. Now here we go. Can Brisbane find anything with this last tackle kick? One more. As Lewis takes the catch inside the 10 for the 600 plus the odds. This is brilliant for you here. It's a genius. Tom Davis gets brought down there by the Robins inside on the 20 for the first tackle. So this will be Hiku brought down in the 30 for the second. 13 tackles inside the opposition 20 for Hull KR. Only 1 for Brisbane in the opposition 20 so far. This has just been unbelievable. So just shy of halfway here, as that is Reece Martin for the 4th tackle for the Robins. Trying to get over the top, and he'll be right on halfway here as Hadley gets the last tackle, flings out to Mikey Lewis, and will kick it out to Dean Mariner again, and he'll take it inside of the 20, and he'll get brought down inside the 20 for the first tackle as we're about to enter the final 20 minutes of this matchup. And all I got to say is put some respect on the Super League. Shibasaki, good bit of a run through there, gets past Brisbane's 40 for the 3rd tackle as Ben Hunt gets the ball out to Payne Haas. Haas gets an offload. It's again Ben Hunt. Gives it off to Ezra Mam. And Ezra Mam will get brought down on halfway for the 4th tackle. And big run there by Talty. He's got the line. He's got support. He's got Patrick Carrigan. And Carrigan will go over and score. Could this be the start of a possible incredible comeback here by Brisbane? But there we go. It's 30 points to 8. With a kick to come, and the try will be right near the sideline. So this should be 30 points to 10. But finally, Brisbane gets something to go their way in this second half. As Patrick Carrigan goes over. So this conversion will make it over 38.5 points. So we just need Hull KR to just keep that gap going. But there we go. Brisbane can finally get the try over as Carrigan makes it 30 points to 8 with the kick. But yeah, great run there by Ben Taldi over the line. And there's the kick, successful there by Adam Reynolds. It's 30 points to 10 with now 19 minutes remaining in this second half. But that's also a big thing the commentators are bringing up. Talty, a forward, breaks the line, and the only player there to support him is the lock of Patrick Carrigan. But there we go. It was Jez Litton trying to make the tackle, but couldn't get it done. So 18.5 minutes remaining in this matchup. Brisbane, it is possible to get a comeback in here. Got Hull KR. Brought it inside the 10. And that's going to be the number 16 of Ben Talty. Got the line break. He gets wrapped up inside the 20 for the first tackle for Brisbane. Now Willison gets brought down on the 20-metre line for the second tackle. Now Reece Walsh, they fling it out to the right. Here we go. Brisbane are running. It's Dean Mariner. And goes like that, just like that. Could we have spoken too early? And just like that, Brisbane finally, the momentum has swung as Dean Mariner now makes it 30 points to 14. Rightio. I should have touched wood for the put respect on the Super League because I feel like they might have cursed him, but there we go. 17 and a half gone, just like that. Brisbane get 2 quick tries, and with a conversion, it will make it only 14-point gap. So just like that, Brisbane have found something. And here's the conversion attempt here by Adam Reynolds. 25 away, so it's pretty deep in field. This to make it a 14-point gap. And the kick is good. Right, we actually could be into a grandstand finish. 30 points to 16. 16 and a half remaining. Rightio. When I said about there being a massacre, and now this about the war, we're expecting a war, and this could be a massacre. The Winged Hussars might have possibly just rocked up to even this up. That's a history reference for you. The Polish, Lithuanian Commonwealth. Anyways, here's the kickoff here by Hull Kingston Rovers to restart the half. As Talty gets the run up and brought down inside of the 20 for the first tackle. So can Brisbane just keep going? They've now got the momentum thoroughly in their momentum. Now Willison brought down just shy of the 30 for the second tackle. Carrigan to Reynolds. Got to say that left hand. Oh, that should be a knock on. It's play on here. And it's a knock on here called, but I believe it might be in favour of a Brisbane ball. But at least this time gap could start helping Hull Kingston Rovers. $24,600, the full attendance for this matchup. So it's a scrum feed to Brisbane on their 30. Full set of 6 as we're now entering the final 15 minutes of this match. Now Ezra Mann gets brought down on the 40 for the first tackle. Now Willison gets brought down on halfway for the second tackle. Another try here, and it's going to start getting very interesting. Walsh tries to fling it out. Was that played out? Yep, set restart. So full set of 6 coming in now with Brisbane fully in the Robins half here. It's the 0 tackle. Is it 0 or first tackle? Carrigan now gets brought down. We don't know what the tackle count is. This will be the first tackle now. 25 out for Brisbane. They'll swing out to the left as Payne Haas gets brought down. 20 away from the try line here for the second tackle. Big ups New Waves. Now up the gats Talty trying to find a gap. He gets brought down now. Third tackle, 10 metres away from the try line. They'll go out to the left here. Flat pass! And Jibasaki scores as Reece Walsh with a beautiful flat ball. It's now 30-20. 14 minutes remaining. It's now a 10-point gap. And you got to think that, like Brisbane, like 5-6 minutes ago, it was 30 to 8. Like, if I argue, it was like 30 to 4 if you want to be more specific. But here we go. Brisbane now finishing red hot as Shibasaki gets his second try of the match. Less than 14 to go. It's now, the margin's now 10. Rightio. We are in for a grandstand finish, ladies and gentlemen. And their conversion, it's hit the post. So it will remain a 10-point gap. So it will remain 30 points to 20. As we've now got 13 and a half minutes remaining in this matchup. Oh boy. So Brisbane now need to score 2 converted tries, essentially, to have a 4-point gap. But man, what a resilient form here by Brisbane. They were gone about 5-10 minutes ago. Oh. I think Ezra Mam just caught doing this, so he might get game into disrepute there. So here we go. There's the kickoff by Hull KR. Brisbane could just be the king of the comebacks. Inside the 20 here for the first tackle. Yeah, 56 minutes. It was 30 points to 4. And then just like that, try. The 61st, the 63rd, and the 66th minute. Now Carrigan. And this Brisbane are just exploiting this whole line. It's just all over the place. It's going to be a set restart here for Brisbane. Doesn't happen. Great tackle there on Ricky. Ricky brought down just shy of Hull KR's 40 for the 4th tackle. Walsh now tries to go for a flat ball. That's a forward pass. Not called. Last tackle, 20 metres out from the try line here for Brisbane. Flings it to Mam. Mam goes for a pass. Break through the line, but Willison gets held. And it's a knock-on anyways as he goes for the try. And it's going to be 10 metres out. Hull KR will get the ball, but Hull KR needs something to get down the other side of the field because this Brisbane team is on all the momentum in the world. That could be offside here. Not caught here. So first tackle inside the 20 here for the Robins. There's Peter Hiku. It's wrapped up just shot inside the 30 for the second tackle. 11 and a half now remaining in this game. That's a wrap around the head. Hull KR players appealing for a penalty. It doesn't happen. As a jersey's just been completely ripped off one of the players. Needs a napkin. That's what it was. Tyrone May will now get the ball and he gets brought down just inside of Brisbane's half for the last tackle now. 11. And they've classed that as a loss possession of the ball. So Brisbane now will get a full set of 6 right on halfway. As time off as this Hull KR player gets a new jersey. Because it's the back half of it's been completely ripped off by Jordan Ricky. But there we go. Full set of 6. It was Minchella, the jersey player that got cut off. So, yep, the coach for Hull KR is now right on the sideline here. 11 minutes exactly remaining in this game. But yeah, just to think about 10 or so minutes ago, it was all cheery of 30 points to 4, but now it's completely flipped on its head. As Katoni Staggs gets the ball and he'll get wrapped up, and it's a penalty! As Brisbane get a penalty here. So this is a huge chance here for Brisbane to make it within 1 try of this comeback. Here we go. So here's the Jordan Ricky. They're taking 3 or 4 players to make a tackle. This is the problem here so far. As Ricky brought down 10 metres away from the try line for the first tackle. There's 16, it's Talty. Again, 10 out for the second. Then they pass out to the left. Mam again the ball, but just can't get anything done here. Third tackle, 10 metres out now. Now they fling it out to the right as Payne Haas gets brought down. He gets an offload though for Ben Hunt. Hunt gets a pass out to Talty, but Talty gets held up. He'll be a metre short of the line here for the fourth tackle. He says he'll be held up and he'll go back to the 10-metre line. Oh boy. So here we go. Payne Haas straight from the tackle and he gets brought down 5 short of the line here. Last tackle as we enter the final 10 minutes of this matchup. Reece Walsh, pass out, and it's just going to go out into touch and it'll be a changeover inside the 20 here for Hull KR. So good defence there by the Robins to prevent anything happening there. But man, Brisbane, they are absolutely scary at this point. So here we go. Brisbane cannot afford to give away anything here. First tackle inside the 20 here for the Robins. And Hiku gets brought down now on the 20. There's a lot of hands around the face here. They need to be careful here. So now Robins just trying to break through the line. They're just shy of the 30 here for the third tackle. We've got 8.5 minutes now remaining in this game. Arm around the head as just shy of the 40 here for the fourth. Now up the cut. So Robins get up to halfway here. So we're about to enter the last 8 minutes. Flings it out. Lewis with the kick. And it's going to go to Dean Mariner. And he takes it inside of the 10. Almost goes us back to the sideline. But it'll get wrapped up on the 10-metre line here for the first tackle. Less than 8 minutes now remaining in this game. Robins' defence there. Brisbane being very slow to come back into the line. And almost a hospital pass there for Reece Walsh. But Karapani has ended up with it. Gets an offload out to Ezra Mam. Ezra Mam almost gets an offload for Reece Walsh. But Mam gets brought down on the Brisbane's 40 for the third tackle. Really great play there by Walsh despite almost dying. Shibasaki now gets brought down just shy of halfway for the fourth tackle. 7.5 remaining. Carrigan to Mam. And Mam will get brought down. Last tackle, 40 out from the try line. Why not show us the screen? Unfortunately, if I do mischief the game, this won't get ended. But Mikey Lewis with the catch inside the 10. No one will watch your stream anyway. I've got 112 concurrent viewers, respectfully. But yeah, I can't because the stream will end with about 2 minutes when the copyright comes in, unfortunately. So, third tackle here for Hull KR. They're just being held back inside of their 10. But if they can kind of get a bit of the running of the motions going, wouldn't be too bad. But this will be the last tackle here for the Robins. They're only getting as far as the 30 for the last tackle. Flings it out, Lewis, for the last tackle kick. It'll be taken by Mariner on the 20-metre line. But he'll get up to Brisbane's 30 for the first tackle. 6.5 now remaining. There's a lot of nerves at the moment around the field and in the stands. Second tackle here for Brisbane. They get up to their 40. It was Karapani. Now Willison gets up to halfway for the third tackle. So now less than 6 minutes remaining here. Brisbane, just stop cutting away to the crowd. Show us the pass goes backwards. Thanks for the good one, mate. I'm watching. Good. Thanks for the support, man. Sees Taro in intuitive readings. Big ups. Fourth tackle right on halfway here. Payne Haas will get the run. It'll get brought down on Hull KR's 40. So last tackle. Run from dummy half. Kick over the top. And it's taken by Shibasaki. But what a stop by Mikey Lewis. And it's going to be counted as a goal line dropout. But Lewis wants there to be a review to see if it's a 20-metre restart. But what a chase by Shibasaki. He bobbles the ball and then Lewis comes in. But Hull KR wanted to review it. But what a stop there by Mikey Lewis. So we're now entering it's a 20-minute restart. Huge play there by Mikey Lewis as we're now into the last 5 minutes. You got to feel Mikey Lewis might get player of the match here. Here we go. Brisbane and Jordan Ricky gives away a penalty. He's been teasing the high shots, and this could be a huge moment if they get the ball down the field. You got to think one more try for the Robins, and they should be there. Because this will also chew out the clock. We've now got 4.5 remaining. But now, Jordan Ricky's been around like the face a lot so far this game. So I think it was only a little bit of a matter of time. It's a deep kick. Oh, it's not gone out! Dean Mariner has caught the ball and has run to Brisbane's 40 for the first tackle. Can you believe it? Carrigan to Mam. They're spreading it out to the left-hand side. Walsh to Shibasaki. Shibasaki's on the run. They gets an offload off to Karapani. And Karapani gets brought down. They're about 30 away from the try line here for the second tackle. This is unbelievable play here. Gashowski now gets brought down. 15 away from the try line. Third tackle for Brisbane. Now Haas. Haas trying to find a gap. He sees a massive line. If they get some passes off, it's Staggs. Staggs gets brought down 5 metres out. Fourth tackle on the right-hand side of the field. They'll go central. Reynolds gives it to Carrigan. Carrigan to Walsh. They've got numbers on their left. Brisbane just short of the line here. 5 metres out. Last tackle. Shibasaki gets brought down. Hunt goes out to Carrigan. Behind the back list for Reynolds. Talty, they've got the support. Just pass it down the line, but Katoni Staggs will score on the last tackle. On the right-hand side, it's 30-24 with just about 3 minutes remaining on the clock. This is unbelievable. We're just going for the sideline conversion. Katoni Staggs hadn't had the best match so far, but he finally makes his impact, getting a try to make it a 6-point gap with a kick to come. But Dean Mariner catching the ball before it goes out. We're in for a grandstand finish, ladies and gentlemen. It always happens. And with this comeback kings, the Broncos, this probably would be the greatest of them all if they're able to get this done. Here we go. Time stopped. 2 minutes 57 remaining on the clock. Thank you, Eugene, for the comment. Sorry about that. For missing you there. So here's a go. Conversion from the sideline. This to make it a 4-point game. Reynolds misses just short of the post, which means if Brisbane score another try and convert, it'll be a draw. Right. And time will start to chew out. You got to think with now less than 3 minutes remaining, Brisbane may only have 1 or 2, probably 2 sets maximum, barring any set restart or penalties. Rightio. Because I'm pretty certain there's no goal line dropout. But Brisbane, even if they don't get this done, what a resurgence second half by them. 30-4 at one point, and now it's 30-24. 2 minutes 52 remaining. Mikey Lewis with the kickoff, and we're underway now once again. Karapani to Walsh. Now to Payne Haas. He gets brought down inside the 20 for the first tackle. Now they get the pass out, and that is Willison. He gets brought down inside the 30 for the second tackle. 2.5 minutes remaining. Now onto the left-hand side. They go as Shibasaki gets brought down inside of halfway for the third tackle. 2.5 minutes now remaining in this game. Mam spreads it into the middle with Reynolds. Now to Haas. And Haas will get brought down just shy of halfway for the fourth tackle. Now into the final 2 minutes. Now Reynolds gets a pass out to Walsh. Walsh can't get the offload off. 30 away from the try line now. Last tackle for Brisbane. Hunt to Reynolds. Flings it to Carrigan. Gets the pass out. Who's got it? Haas. Flings it to the left-hand side. They're still going. Willison gives it to Mam. Mam with the grubber kick. And it's going to be jockeyed out. It's a 7-tackle set and a 20-minute restart to Hull. They need to keep going. Lazarus goal kicking makes big difference. Broncos should have reached 30 points. That's true. It'd be 30 all at this point. But now, a full set left. Brisbane need to force a mistake. But even still, it could only tie it at best. 0 tackle now on the 30. Hull KR, they're nearly there. Here we go. Here's the first tackle. 70 seconds remaining. They're just running up and playing it as slow as possible. Hull Kingston Rovers are almost there. Second tackle. We're in the final minute, ladies and gentlemen. Just shy of halfway now. Hull Kingston Rovers now 50 seconds. It's the number 15 of Sam Luckley who gets brought down on halfway for the third tackle. It might be 1 or 2 tackles Brisbane will be able to have. Here we go. Fourth tackle. Hull KR now 40 away from the try line. 40 seconds remaining. They're playing it as slow as possible, and you understand them. Martin plays the ball. Now Tyrone May. May gets brought down 35 away from the try line now. Last tackle. 30 seconds left. What can they do? Lewis with the ball. He goes on the run. He goes for a kick and chase here for Burgess. Walsh takes it. 20 seconds remaining. They've got 90 metres to go the other side of the field. What can they do? Walsh flings it out. Karapani, is that a knock-on? It is a knock-on. 10 seconds to go. They've had to face off against the comeback kings, but that will do it. The Hull Kingston Rovers have won the World Club Challenge. Despite everything Brisbane did in the final 20 minutes, the Robins put too much of a deficit, 30 points to 24, and they've done it. The World Club Challenge title remains in Britannia. Wow. This is a game you need a cigarette after. But you got to say, a fantastic performance by both teams. Hull KR to get out to 30 points, but Brisbane, 20 minutes left, they were down and out. It was 30-4. And then they made it 30-24. But Hull Kingston Rovers become the 4th team in English Rugby League history to do the quadruple. Thank you, New Ways. But wow. What a brilliant game. And Hull Kingston Rovers is one of the England players has a massively bruised eye, but there we go. Oh. Hull KR complete the quadruple. And I was saying 30-4, it's like, oh, this is a massacre. But Brisbane just come back. You got to think there's a couple of chances they've gone big in, but Broncos lose their 4th straight World Club Challenge final. And this is, again, no team since the Roosters in 2020 have won the World Club Challenge as an Australian team. But what a beautiful match. I'm sorry for Cryptic Tony on the 13+ margin didn't work out for you there. But wow. You need a cigarette after that one. Oh, wow. That's just unbelievable. And Mikey Lewis saying, what do you say now? To be fair, you got to say, he did well. He did well. I think you can make the argument Mikey Lewis could have been the best player on the field there for Hull Kingston Rovers, but wow. That is one of the greatest games of rugby league. It's just, what can you say? Almost probably one of the greatest comebacks of all time, but you just got to think, man, Brisbane really could have done it if they just were more switched on in the first half, but they weren't great in the first 60 minutes, but yeah, that's going to be the end there, but what a brilliant match. Thank you all very much for watching this. It's been an absolutely brilliant stream. We'll be doing the 2 NRL preseason trial games later tonight or tomorrow, depending on where your location is. But what a game. Hull KR wins the 2026 World Club Challenge, completing the quadruple. And that's the end of it. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you